if you wish to have a profitable day, you've tuned into the right show, Traders 20 on ET Now. I'm Kamya Verma. Good morning, everyone. I'm Megha Chadha. Well, let's tell you what Traders 20 then is all about. Well, it is a show which gets you top trading ideas so that you can have a profitable trading day. In fact, our 6 technical titans would be joining in over the next 30 minutes to get you some of the most profitable bets in the markets. Well, not just that, we'll also be getting commodity strategies to you and also the best from futures and options markets. So here's the lineup for today. Ashwini Gujral joins in from New Delhi. We have Mitesh Thakkar, Sandeep Wagle, as well as Prakash Kaba joining from Mumbai, Rajat Bose from Kolkata, and Deepak Mohoni from Pune. Gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Traders 20. All right, let's get started then. And first up, get your glimpse of what's happening with the markets at this point in time. And it's relatively quiet after 2 stupendous days of the new trading year. In fact, right now as well, we are off the day's lows and still managing to hold up just around that 6,000 mark at this point in time. The advanced decline ratio, though it's veering in favor of the gaining side, is still, we've got quite a few losers still dominating the frontlining side. So if we start with the big movers for the day, then we've got a Dr. Reddy's that's added on a good 2%. We've got an Ambuja Cement as well. That's at about 207 right now. Not just that, we've also got an ACC from the cement pack that's looking good at this point in time. IDFC, Cairn India is also showing a good bounce back. And Infosys, though, on the other hand, despite the warning messages that have been doing the rounds that we could see a cut in the profit guidance, is looking up as we speak. Punjab National Bank, it's at 895 right now. Some bit of profit booking coming into that one. Tata Power is also low by about 0.7%, as well as the Sun Pharma, some bit of profit booking being witnessed there. Bank of Baroda, Hindalco, as well as an ICICI Bank are among some of the other losers. So let's get started with the show and get you all the equity trading ideas first up, but not before getting you a reminder as well that if you act on any of the advice that's been given on the show, please consult your investment advisor before doing the same. So let's start with Ashwini Gujral as well as Mitesh Thakkar up first. And Ashwini, I'd like to start with you and tell us about what is the sense you're getting from the markets at this point in time. Do you think we'll see some sort of consolidation around the 6,000 mark?
Well, consolidation is a word you use for a pause that lasts a month. I think this could be, maximum 1 or 2 days worth of pause, and post which the market should rally again. So the idea should be to use these declines and top up your positions, or just hold on if you are long. If you are not long, get long during this time. So broadly, that's the whole idea. The uptrend continues, and as the markets get used to the 6,000, 6,010 kind of levels, you will probably see more buying coming in. Individual stocks, REC and PFC are today doing well. So REC is a buy with a stop about 254, target of 272. PFC is a buy with a stop about 205, target of 222. And Dr. Reddy is a buy with a stop about 1850, target of 1960. And finally, AB Nuvo is a buy with a stop about 1110, target of 1180.
All right, so all buy calls coming in from Ashwini Gujral. Mitesh, would like to know your thoughts on Sensex. Now on Nifty, we've already crossed 6,000 mark. How far are we from the 20,000 mark on Sensex, and also your top trading ideas?
So I think the direction remains on the upside. So while, yesterday also we saw some kind of subduedness towards the late trading time in the, or trading activity time in the markets, I think, my sense is that we will get much beyond 6,000 and possibly much beyond 20,000 on the Sensex. So the direction remains positive. I think Ashwini rightly mentioned that this looks like to be more of a pause after a 4-week kind of consolidation which lasted the entire December, and the markets have broken out. So the rally started from roughly around 58.70, 58.50 odd levels, and while the breakout happened at 59.50, I think it's been about 3-4 days old, so a couple of 1-2 days kind of consolidation might be okay. I've got 4 buy calls on the stock side. The first one is a buy on Delta Corporation with a stop at 80 for a target of 90. It's broken out on the short-term charts. ACC is a buy where we have seen some strong intraday signals come into the price chart. Can be bought with a stop at 14.29 for a target of 14.85. Crompton Greaves is a stock which has been buzzing since yesterday. It's managed to get past the 200-day average as well as key short-term averages. Can be bought with a stop at 118 for a target of 132. It's moved up slightly in the last half an hour as well. So buying should be advised around the levels of 123, 123 half in the spot segment. And finally, buy on Infosys. Interesting pick in the sense that IT has been underperforming, but today we have seen a intraday breakout on the CNX IT charts, and Infosys is also getting beyond the key short-term averages. So overall, a positive setup if you take a very small time frame view of about 1 to 3 days. Can be bought with a stop at 2310 for a target of around 2380 on the upside.
Okay, so market setup is looking positive right now, and Mitesh Thakkar, in fact, is also advising for long ideas. On that note, let's start taking up all your individual queries for the day then, and get started with our Ask Ashwani segment. The first query for the day comes in on a Tata Steel. We've got Samir Narula joining us on the phone line from New Delhi. Samir, hi. Thanks very much for calling in. Tell us about your question on Tata Steel.
Yeah, hi Samir from this side. A very good morning to all of you. I bought a Tata Steel at the rate of 596 and then bought it again at the rate of 500, and again I bought it at the rate of 400. So now the total consolidated rate comes out to be 475. What I should do, I can hold it for the next 3 to 6 months. What can be the future of this stock, and will I be benefited from the stock or not?
Well, the good thing you did was that you chose a blue chip and you tried to average it down. See, broadly, metals are cyclical. You know, they often move in ranges. In good times, when the sentiment is high, Tata Steel will be at 700. When sentiment is bad, it will be at 350. And the right way to buy is that you accumulate at 350 as much as possible. And when, fundamentals are really bad, you'll get the lowest prices, and slowly, the cycle will reverse and things will move up. Now, since you are open to averaging, I think even now you can average, in a good quantity so that your average can again move down. If you can get it down to 450, then, nothing like it. And chances are you'll see levels higher than 500 fairly soon. The next target is about 520. And if global markets pick up, get out of recession, China picks up, I think 650, 700 coming back, if not in 6 months, maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, is quite possible. But please average down even more if you can.
All right, Samir, hope your query is answered on Tata Steel. Next up is a query on Syntex, and we have Rahul Ataluri on the line with us. Good morning, Rahul. Good to have you with us. Please go ahead with your query.
Hi. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year to you too.
I have 10,000 shares of Syntex at an average of 62. I've bought this at June last year, 2012. And I have I intend to hold it for another 6 months to 1 year. I would like to know the future prospects of this stock.
Well, as you've noticed that from June till now, the market is up 30%, your stock is hardly up 10%. So, in a sense, it is underperforming. But maybe, mid caps, small caps are getting ready to move. If that's the case, why don't you keep a trailing stop at break even, which is around 62 in your case, and see what happens. Once we cross levels about 75, we are looking at levels about 105, and if it doesn't work out, make sure you don't start losing, because you see, it's not necessary that all stocks will perform in all bull markets. So don't see it going down to 30 or 40. The first thing you do in trading is protect your capital, and since you are in profit, you shouldn't start losing on this trade. But it's kind of an underperformer. If it doesn't do much, even post the market, sustaining 6,000, then you may even consider, switching into something else.
Okay, Rahul, so that was the advice coming to you on a Syntex. Hope you've taken note of all the levels that Ashwani has mentioned. Let's move on from that then and take up the last and final query for the day. This one comes in on an Indian overseas bank. Anup Jain has sent this in to us by an email. Now, Anup picked up about 1,000 shares of an Indian overseas bank at a price of 25 rupees a share, and he wants to know whether he should hold on or book profits in the investment. Ashwani, he's got a time horizon of 1 year. What should he do?
I think probably the best of PSU banks is ahead, and particularly the smaller ones, because they tend to be the ones under stress. Now, I think most people would know my advice in this situation. is that you need to add on to your quantity to make money. If you add on another 1,000, even at this price, your average will be around 60, 65. That's still 30 bucks away from the current price. So if you can do that, then if the stock moves higher, the next target here is about 109, you will make more money. If you don't want to add on, keep a trailing stop about 83 and hold till the next target of 109, and then we can reevaluate.
All right, so that's a recommendation coming in on IOB. Anup, hope you made a note of the recommendations made by Ashwini. Well, before we move on, here's a disclaimer once again from our end. Do consult a financial advisor before taking any positions in the stocks. Well, the Sensex and Nifty doing fairly well at this point of time, higher by about 0.2%. Let's also take a look at the broader indices then, mid-cap index specifically, higher by 0.6% at this point of time. Let's also take a look at some of the movers then. Indiabulls Financials higher by 6.5%. Stellar movement there, also Hexaware higher by 4.5%. Tata Chemicals as well as Indraprastha Gas, both the stocks are higher by more than 2%. The losers then, CESC as well as Pfizer losing about 1% at this point of time. Also Suzlon and Pantaloon Retail losing 1%. Okay, let's move on then and get you more trading ideas right now that you could be looking at. Sandeep Bagle and Prakash Gaba join in now on the show. Sandeep, hi, morning. Let's start with you first. And you've got an ACC and an AB Nuvo. Tell us about what are levels one needs to watch out for in these?
Yes, I have a buy in ACC, a stop loss of 1430, target of 1485, a very, very clear breakout at 1435 levels. So I don't think that should be crossed on the downside. A breakout of multiple resistance levels in the daily charts, so this move should come in over the next couple of trading sessions. The second one is a buy in Aditya Birla Nuvo, stop loss of 1110, target of 1180. A breakout of prior swing high in the daily charts, I expect to see a 70-80 point move upside. And the third one is a buy in Dr. Reddy's Lab, stop loss of 1850, target of 1940. Multiple resistances have been broken and a rounding bottom pattern in the daily has occurred. So I expect this target over the next 2 to 3 trading sessions.
All right, so Sandeep expecting those 3 counters to climb up in trade. Mr. Gaba, you too are expecting 3 stocks to do fairly well in today's session. Which are those?
I think I'll start with Aurobindo Pharma. Structurally looking positive, a fresh buy signal has emerged on a shorter time frame. I think looks like it's given a beautiful breakout as well, sustained above it. It should climb to levels closer to 210. I would have a stop below 201 and trade the long side in Aurobindo Pharma. The second stock that I like is Hexaware. That's the stock that's been forming up the base a couple of days or so. Today it's confirmed the base out there, and it can climb to levels closer to 95 or even higher. I would have a stop below 85 and trade the long side. So Hexaware technology also is looking like a buy. And the third perhaps is Opto Circuit. Good up move, I would say that after a good consolidation, there's been actually a breakout at levels closer to 109 or so. I would have a stop below 109, 110 and expect it to climb to levels closer to 118. So it's Opto Circuit, Hexaware, and Aurobindo Pharma.
All right, so those are the 3 counters to watch out for. That Mr.
Well,
Gaba
we've of course got the benchmarks as well as the broader markets looking very well, but the biggest movement actually is coming into the small cap side right now, which has gained close to 1%. In fact, the big movers is the Zodiac Clothing. Remember, we had a big block deal in that in this particular count in the morning. That's locked in at the upper circuit. Sundur Manganese has also gained a whopping 69 rupees since morning. Winsome Diamonds, another big mover for in the session. 42.25 is the level it's trading at. We've also got a Shriram EPC. Remember, that counter is also up by about 12%. Time Technoplast, where news is buzzing around that we could be seeing a big order come in for the company, that's also up by another 10%. On the losing side, we've got a Timex that is seeing quite a bit of selling this morning. Yesterday, of course, this counter gained close to 7%. Lloyd's Metal is another one of the losers right now.
All right, let's get you some more stock-specific ideas then. And time then to get in Rajat Bose and Deepak Mohoni with their top bets. So good morning, gentlemen. Rajat, would like to first come to you with your top ideas for today, and why are you recommending them?
See, I'm recommending 3 stocks. First of all, it is Sesa Goa, then Mahindra Eugene Steel, it's a mid-cap stock, and finally Kotak Bank. If you analyze the end of the chart of all of these 3 stocks, what you find is that Sesa Goa actually sort of moved up and cleared the earlier resistance level around 200, and it's still moving up. So Sesagoa is likely to move up and expected to hit say levels of 210. Prior to that, the two targets are 206 and 208. Then this mid-cap counter, Mahindra Eugene Steel, this is already doing pretty well in today's session, and among the mid-caps, it's one of, it has got good pedigree as well as, this is one stock. Once it starts moving after a consolidation, it gives a good move. Yesterday it has given a big swing up, and again today it is moving up. So what I'm looking at is say targets of 65, 68 and 71, and I suggest 56 as your closing stop. This is a short-term trade, and it should be held unless of course the stop triggers. And finally, Kotak Bank is a qualified call in the sense that you're buying at current levels relatively small quantity, and once 664 to about 666 is cleared, then you buy more and put a stop below 650 and hold it for the short term with a target of 676 to 680. This stock can move up provided of course the Nifty doesn't enter into a big correction. Only concern about these three long calls is that the Nifty has not been able to clear 6010 to 6027 supply zone. Once that is cleared, I don't think there would be any problem. Of course, Mahindra Eugene Steel or Moscow does not go in tandem with the Nifty, but the other two is definitely correlated with the Nifty, so there is some amount of concern there, but the stop is already there.
Okay, so those are the three buying recommendations that Rajat has, along with a note of caution, of course. But Deepak, take it to you, and what are the three trades that you've identified?
All longs again. There are still no good short sales appearing, so sticking to the longs, though of course the market has now gone up for a while. But in the absence of any good short sales, there's hardly any stock at even a 1 week low, so it's buys again. JSW Steel is the first of the buys with a stop loss of 824 and a target of 869. This stock has been making a pretty decent move. It had dipped a little bit yesterday and is resuming a move today. In fact, it's up to a 10-month high. So good entry point. That little dip yesterday gives a decent stop loss, and so JSW Steel is the first buy. Bank of India, 356 is the stop loss, 377 the target. This has been in the last month or so one of the strongest banks. It's notched up a higher percent gain than most of the other PSU banks. This had dipped again briefly yesterday and is up to a 6 months today. So in terms of a setup, good entry point. Power Finance Corporation, stop loss of 207.5, target of 220, another buy. Power stocks have really not been in the rally much, but eventually everything gets in, and I think it's, power stocks are now doing that. This dipped a bit yesterday, resuming a move today up to a 10-month high, so fairly standard buying setup. So the three buys again, JSW Steel, Bank of India, Power Finance Corp.
All right, three long calls coming in from Deepak Mohani as well. Let's now shift focus to commodities back then, and now get in our commodities editor Manisha Gupta for a quick check on that space. Good morning, Manisha.
Hi, thank you for that. Well, it has been multi-week, multi-month highs for most of those commodities, whether it's agro or non-agro. You haven't seen any negative coming in 2013 in the last two trading sessions that we have seen. Starting with copper then, and that's trading nearly at a 2.5-month highs on LME. Shanghai markets are still shut, but you have seen gains continue in case of most of the base metal prices there. It's 2.5% of gains coming in for nickel. Remember, that was the only underperformer that gave you 7% negative returns in 2012, but 2013 has opened positive for that commodity as well. If you look at the other base metals, well, it's 3 to 4% of gains coming in across for copper, nickel, aluminum, zinc, and all of them. The US fiscal deal is something that has been positive, has led to get some gains coming in. Also, the Chinese PMI numbers coming in positive also has taken the prices on the higher side. Today, of course, it's the US weekly jobless claims numbers coming in, and markets are taking bullish cues from that one as well. It continues to be going good for the precious metal space as well. Gold prices have gained 0.7% in 2013 till time. Silver prices are up by nearly 2.5% as well. The weakness in the US dollar has been supportive. Markets also are looking at central bank buying this time around as well to continue to support this space as well. In the Indian markets, of course, RBI may be looking at the value and volume restrictions on imports by banks and agencies. That is something that's bothering the trade houses here. But apart from that, it really has worked positive into the sentiment in sense of prices. Good going continues for the crude prices too. You have seen 3-month highs coming in for NYMEX. Today is a day of bit of a profit taking after the kind of run up that we have seen in previous 2 days. How do you trade all of those commodities then? For that, let's get in Sumit Bagaria from Destimony, and he joins us with his sense on all of that. Sumit, hi, welcome. Let's start with gold first. As the kind of support that we have seen, do you think it could continue for the day-to-day as well?
Well, we continue to hold our bullish view on gold and expect prices to test levels of around 31,200 and above that 31,450 rupees in next 1 or 2 days. So one can initiate long position at current market price or on dips in prices till 30,950 rupees in MCX is a very good buy, with a stop loss to be placed at 30,800 rupees on lower side for the initial target of 31,200 and above that 31,450 rupees in next 1 or 2 days.
Sumit, what's your sense coming in for copper as well? At a 2.5-month high prices, how would you want to trade that?
We are expecting base metal prices to move up from present levels. So the best commodity to trade in is copper. We are expecting copper prices to move up and touch levels of around 455 and above that 458 rupees. So one can initiate long position at current market price or on dips in prices till 448 or 449 rupees in MCX should be a very good buy opportunity, with a stop loss to be placed at 444 rupees on lower side for the upside target of 455 and above that 458 rupees in next 1 or 2 days. Overall, we maintain our bullish view on copper. One can initiate long position at current market price.
All right, Sumit, we'll let you go at that. Thank you so much for joining us. The 2 buy calls on gold and copper coming in from Destimony Commodities at this point in time. With that, it's back to you, Megha.
Thanks very much, Manisha, as always, for keeping us up to speed with what's happening with commodities. But a reminder once again from our end then that if you act on any of the advice and the stuff that have been discussed on the show, please consult your investment advisor before doing so. And to our 6 experts, of course, a big thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today with your top recommendations.